Hey everyone, this is Naren from Naren's Life with MS. So it's another funny Friday, and for this funny Friday, I think, you know, going on with that theme of volunteering, I want to share another volunteering story which honestly has photographic proof. And maybe if I do make this a little bigger of it, if this YouTube channel becomes much bigger, I would definitely be one of the people. I would definitely be the one to share the photographic proof. So what does this photographic proof show? So this happened when I was volunteering in Ghana. And essentially it was me with 12 other volunteers from my university, and we were going to build rainwater harvesters on a school in southern Ghana. And we were essentially just building these two rainwater harvesters, which would be attached to the two roofs of to the roofs of two school buildings. And these were attached to I'd say 10,000 liter tanks each, so there would be plenty of water for this one community of about, I want to say, 100 to 200 people, or maybe a little more. But even with that, I think one thing that ended up being very fun was the fact that once everything finished, we would come back to our lodge, and then we would just chill out, have a few have food, talk, party to some extent. And the one good thing was this lodge was actually very close to the beach. So one day we actually ended up coming back from volunteering a little earlier, and so the sun was still up. We decided to go to the beach and have some fun at the beach. I decided to sit down on the sand and watch all of the other volunteers probably play in the water, just walk and have some fun. And after that, we of course go back up to our lodge. And so here's one funny instance where the road was, well, it was very rocky. I mean, it was not smooth as far as asphalt goes. It was definitely more pebbles and jagged stones that pretty much built it. So I was practically crying by the time I reached the lodge, despite it being 50 to 60 meters. So first, I think first lesson from this story, always keep one pair of shoes with you at all times. But after that, we decide to go upstairs. We decide to go to our lodge, and we didn't feel like we needed to change into our pajamas at that point in time, because it's still very early. So we were just again hanging out, talking, just pretty much sharing stories, playing games and all of that. And one of the things we decided to do was to pretty much practice a dance that we would perform for the entire community once our rainwater harvesting system was complete, which would be in the next few days. So we started practicing it, and one step which required us to walk backwards, or at least turn around and walk. And one thing I didn't realize, remember I said that I sat down on the sand. Now the sand was a little wet, and while you know none of the sand stuck to the back of my pants, a lot of the water did. And so there is photographic proof of so you don't see my face, you see my back profile, and all you see on my jeans is a big round wet spot, which which it still makes me laugh when I think about looking at that picture. That that happened, and I didn't even know that that was the case. And of course, we had the ability to do laundry and everything, and considering we had used whatever we were wearing at that point, we had pretty much done some volunteering, built part of the rainwater harvester, and of course gone also to the beach. So everything that I was wearing at that point in time would have eventually actually gone for laundry that day itself. But yeah, there is literally a photo of me, of at least my back, with a big round wet spot on my pants. And so hopefully I don't remember reading in the comments ever about it showing up for anyone. And I know this one is not technically related to MS, but I did want to share a story about funny things that do end up happening in these kinds of scenarios. And sometimes the scenarios where you sometimes feel the most normal, sometimes when it really is not about what you've it's not really about you having a medical condition. Sometimes you just do something that just ends up being funny for the sake of being funny. So I just wanted to share this one very short story, and I'm sure that if this channel becomes a little bit bigger, I will definitely share that photo, so that you all can pretty much make any you can pretty much derive any conclusion as to why that spot is A, so big, B, so round, and C, so dark, despite the fact that we had gone at least an hour or more beforehand, because this picture was taken at night. So keep that in your head when you actually do tell share this video, or you have similar embarrassing stories or embarrassing pictures that are actually present on social media, because sometimes all we need is a hearty laugh. So with that said, thanks so much for listening in, and yeah, have a great rest of the day. Bye.